And joining me now is Sourabh Gupta with the Institute for China-America Studies. He's a senior Asia-Pacific International Relations Policy Specialist. So what do you make of this free trade zone and a free trade port with Chinese characteristics? How would this differ than some of the other free trade zones that China already has?
I think the Hainan FTZ is a bold experiment. It is a bold experiment which is in keeping with China's transition from being a manufacturing-led economy and investment-led economy to a more services-led and a consumer-led economy. That was the key thrust of President Xi's speech at the National Party Congress, and it is also at the two sessions. And thereafter, he did go to the Boao Forum, and he talked about this. The Chinese government has already put into action investment liberalization proposals in particular sectors. And the hope is, and the goal is, that those liberalizations are now going to also happen in services sectors, and many of those will be kind of tested in a way in places like the Hainan FTZ. So just as we had the coastal development strategy in the late 1980s, which made then China a manufacturing powerhouse, Hainan FTZ can be at that cusp and at the forefront of when China now makes that transition to also becoming a services powerhouse.
People usually think Hainan as a holiday destination. It's sunny and tropical, and people go there for the water. So what do you think is the goal here? How will it change or evolve if it becomes a free trade zone with this pilot program?
I think it will still stay as beautiful and as nice and as tropical as it's always been. And the goal actually, and part of the incentives out here, incentive structure rather, is to get talented, skilled professionals to relocate to Hainan to engage in these non-polluting industries which can take China qualitatively forward in terms of services sector. And that's why we'll have both medical tourism but also high-tech breakthroughs in the medical area. The process is just beginning at this point of time, but the important thing is that all these industries that are being talked about, these sectors that we're talking about, are not going to leave a very heavy footprint on the environment and be as damaging as it was when China went through that investment phase of its growth. Yes, I would say Hainan is going to look more and more like Singapore. That's the goal, and I think that's the way China is going to go.
And that being said, is it also about attracting foreign talent? There was talk of visas, visa-free travel, but also, you said recruiting. So we're also hearing Google, Facebook, Twitter opening that up to some foreign visitors. So is it also attracting foreigners to come there and stay and work?
Yes, it is, and part of, I think it was at the two sessions earlier this year, where China had a qualitative reform of its visa regime to get not just Chinese educated professional Chinese based in the US back, but also have foreigners come and work in China. And I think it would be a tremendous benefit at this point of time. This is a difficult reform to make in any developing country as it graduates to a middle income and a high income country. Visa policies are very sensitive. It's about jobs and about jobs going to people who don't look like us, and that can be very sensitive. But China realizes this is the moment to do it. There are developed countries in Asia like Japan and Korea which never took that step and have hurt themselves in having that creativity and dynamism of foreign high-skilled professionals. And I think China wants to get on that bus early and at the right time.
Sourabh Gupta, always great to hear your thoughts. Thank you for joining us.